JBN, we keep you informed. I am Michelle Jones, and in the news, MP Rhoda Crawford escapes serious injury in two-vehicle Manchester crash. Member of Parliament for Manchester Central, Rhoda Moy Crawford, is among 6 people who narrowly escaped serious injury in a two-vehicle crash in Manchester earlier today. Crawford, who is a member of the governing Jamaica Labour Party, said that she was driving on the Knockpatrick Main Road in her constituency when the crash happened. Preliminary reports are that the first-time MP and 5 of her relatives were travelling in a Toyota Voxy van when the vehicle collided with a Toyota Tacoma pickup truck. We were turning onto Tower Street when a speeding motor vehicle slammed into the vehicle carrying my family and me, Crawford said. Crawford and the driver of the pickup, who is said to be a medical doctor, sustained minor injuries. There were no reports of injuries among Crawford's relatives. The police processed the scene. 2 years ago, on September 3, Crawford defeated the People's National Party's Peter Bunting in the general election. Police identify man shot dead in Westmoreland operation, gun seized. The Westmoreland police are reporting that a gun was seized from a man who was fatally shot during an early morning operation in Vietnam District, White House on Friday. The operation was carried out by police personnel from the Counter-Terrorism and Organized Crime Division, CTOC. The deceased man has been identified as 20-year-old Anthony Fraser, otherwise called Grandspen or Papa, from the community. Reports are that, while conducting the operation at a residence occupied by Fraser, members of the CTOC team had to force open the front door to the 3-apartment boardhouse after the occupant failed to open the door. It is reported that when cops finally breached the residence, Fraser pointed a gun in the direction of one of the lawmen. The officer took evasive action and discharged 6 rounds from his Glock service pistol. Fraser collapsed, reportedly clutching the gun in his right hand. The weapon, a .45 pistol with a magazine containing 6 rounds, was seized, the police said. Fraser, suffering from gunshot wounds to his chest, was transported to the Lamar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Pedal cyclist shot but continues riding. A pedal cyclist may have saved his life when he continued to ride away from a gunman despite being shot. Police said that had the man not continued riding, despite the efforts of the gunman to bring him down during the attack on the Palmer's Cross Main Road in Clarendon on Thursday night, he might not have been alive today. The injured man, a construction worker from the parish, has since been admitted to hospital. No motive has been established for the attack. Police reports at about 8 p.m. the man had just left a bar at Red Road in the parish, where he was drinking with friends. While riding his bicycle along the Palmer's Cross Main Road, he was attacked by a man armed with a gun who opened gunfire at him. Police said he was hitting his left thigh, but continued riding his bicycle until he reached an area along Roswell Road where he fell. He was assisted by residents to the hospital. Man injured in Clarendon home invasion. A 32-year-old man narrowly escaped death when gunmen kicked open his house door and shot him several times in Yorktown, Clarendon, Wednesday night. The man has since been admitted to hospital. No motive was established for the attack, the police said. Information received is that about 9:30 p.m., the now injured man was in his 2-bedroom house when unknown assailants gained entry. The assailants reportedly kicked open his front door, entered and opened gunfire, hitting him in his left shoulder, left side and left leg. The assailants then escaped. It is reported that the residents, who heard the loud explosions, found and assisted the victim to the hospital. The police were summoned and upon their arrival to the premises, observed the front wooden door apparently kicked in and blood inside the passage, leading from the bathroom and front bedroom. Upon processing the scene, police reportedly found 5 9mm spent casings. Unidentified man shot dead in Lamar. An unidentified man, believed to be in his late 40s, was shot dead by gunmen along the Torrington Main Road in Lamar on Saturday morning. The deceased man is of dark complexion, slim build, and about 5 feet 9 inches tall with dreadlocks hairstyle. At the time of his death, the victim was clad in a green shirt, blue jeans pants, and was barefooted. Reports from the police are that residents heard loud explosions at 1:30 a.m. and summoned the police. On their arrival, the deceased was seen on his back with what appeared to be gunshot wounds. He was transported to the Lamar Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Alleged Clarendon trickster remanded. A Clarendon man accused of defrauding another out of $9,000 was remanded when he appeared in the St. Catherine Parish Court yesterday. Davian Harvey, 35, who is charged with larceny by trick, was ordered to return to court on October 3. At that time, an application for bail is expected to be made for the May Pen laborer. In court yesterday, his attorney Nicole Ferguson argued that his client is a fit and proper candidate for bail as he has a steady place of abode and has no previous conviction. But the lawyer was told by parish judge Desiree Allain that the court needed more information on Harvey before bail could be considered. The judge noted that the police have indicated that Harvey was previously charged with similar offences. He was then remanded until October 3. Allegations are that on August 18, 2022, the accused collected the money from the complainant in a business transaction. The complainant reportedly had a disagreement with Harvey and demanded that his money be returned. He was given back what was believed to be the full sum, but which turned out to be $180 in single notes. The police were contacted, and following an investigation, Harvey was charged with larceny by trick. Jamaica's Tinder swindler arrested in the U.S. could face deportation. A 34-year-old Jamaican woman who allegedly attempted to blackmail and extort the CEO of a publicly traded U.S. company was charged Thursday in New York and faces further charges for being the alleged mastermind of a catfishing scheme targeting wealthy men. Dubbed the Jamaican Tinder swindler, playing on the name of a popular Netflix documentary, Sequoia Blackwood is charged with one count of making interstate communications with intent to extort, which carries a maximum sentence of 2 years in prison. She is also charged with one count of cyber stalking, which carries the maximum penalty of 5 years in prison, and one count of extortion, which carries the maximum sentence of 20 years. According to allegations in the indictment unsealed Thursday in Manhattan Federal Court and statements made in court, Blackwood, who often uses the name Lila Cohen among many aliases, uses different platforms to lure in her victims, who she solicits intimate photos from, then uses the photos to extort money from them. The U.S. Attorney's Office for the Southern District of New York said that, in particular, Blackwood made threats against the chief executive officer of a publicly traded company to release sexually explicit communications and photographs exchanged between her and the man if she wasn't monetarily compensated. FBI Assistant Director Michael J. Driscoll said that Blackwood's seductive scheme, which began in March 2022, targeted high-profile men preying on their softer sides. No one should have to fear public humiliation and financial loss from the release of private personal information, as alleged. Sequoia Blackwood created that very fear and sought to capitalize on it for her own personal gain, said Driscoll. I commend the victim for reporting this alleged criminal activity and encourage anyone else who believes they may have been a victim of this scheme to contact the FBI, Driscoll added. The indictment further noted that Blackwood targeted multiple other victims as part of her extortion scheme. If convicted, Blackwood could also be deported back to Jamaica, as a 34-year-old is not a citizen of the United States but arrived in the country in 2002 on a visitor's visa. Budding housing development furnishing hope in West Kingston. After decades of living in squalor within the shanty towns of Kingston Western, some residents are now banking on a new housing development in the area to improve their living conditions. Ground for the Victoria Palms development was broken on Friday, signaling the start of the $71 million project being constructed under the new Social Housing Program NSHP and the Housing Opportunity, Production and Employment Hope Program in collaboration with the Kingston and St. Andrew Municipal Corporation. The Ministry of Economic Growth and Job Creation has committed $50 million towards the project through the NSHP, with the remaining $21 million being provided by the Ministry of Local Government and Rural Development. The housing project, which is being carried out on approximately half an acre of land, is expected to reduce the overcrowding at the community of Board Villa in the constituency. In his remarks, Kingston Western Member of Parliament Desmond McKenzie noted that Denham Town was particularly unique as it is one of the oldest residential communities in Jamaica. Under the project, a total of 20 units are being developed adjacent to St. Albion's Primary School along Albert Street. Construction is set to be completed by the end of 2023. The Victoria Palms project will be split into 2 phases, with the first in the construction of 12 two-bedroom units over 9 months. Phase 2, which consists of 8 3-bedroom units, is scheduled to begin before the completion of Phase 1. Amenities will include green spaces, a play area for the children, and a gazebo complemented with seating areas. In his keynote address, Holness recalled that he was deeply moved by the reality when he saw the state in which residents lived during his tour nearly 3 years ago. I toured Boyd Villa 2 years ago, I believe, before the pandemic, and it had a visceral effect on me. It affected me deeply. The conditions under which the persons were living there, he said. As beneficiaries of the new development, will be living under a lease with conditions regarding use of land. Holness also warned that the buildings and environment should not be treated poorly once locals moved in. We're not building a slum, I want that to be clear, and we're not building facilities to be turned into a slum, he said. He went on to say that poverty was no excuse for improper garbage disposal. I don't take that as an excuse, he said. Holness noted that as occupants will share common areas, they will be required to pay a maintenance fee to go towards the upkeep of the surrounding land. A similar development is also set to be built in Rasta City in nearby Tivoli Gardens. Jamaica reports 83 new COVID-19 cases, no new deaths. The Ministry of Health and Wellness reported 83 new COVID-19 cases on Friday, September 2, bringing the infection total to 150,101. The new cases comprise 42 females and 41 males, with ages ranging from 7 months to 92 years. No new deaths were reported. The cases were recorded in Kingston and St. Andrew 25, St. Catherine 14, St. James, St. Elizabeth and Trelawney 2 each, Manchester 12, St. Thomas 1, Clarendon 5, St. Anne 6, St. Mary and Portland 4 each, Hanover and Westmoreland 3 each. There were 102 recoveries in the last 24 hours, bringing the total to 96,926. Currently, 126 people are hospitalized, 39 of whom are moderately ill, 4 severely ill, and 6 in critical condition. Jamaica's positivity rate for the latest round of testing is 19.4%. JBN, we keep you informed. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, leave us a comment, and click the notification bell to receive our daily news items.